All right, well, welcome to our training webinar. This is Todd Falcone. So happy to have all of you with us today. Mastering the art of recruiting affluent professionals, probably one of my favorite subjects to teach and train on. This is something, a discovery I essentially had about 15 years ago when I ran into some issues and was looking for a better way to find good people to put into my network marketing business. And this has become, over the last over a decade, my favorite way of sponsoring and recruiting great people into my network marketing business, which is what I'm going to teach you about today. So that's the title. What you're going to learn today on today's webinar is this. You're going to learn how to apply this method that I've been using for over 15 years now and very easily begin to recruit good quality professional people into your network marketing or direct sales business, and most importantly, be able to deal with confidence, be able to feel good about, picking up the phone or engaging a high-quality professional person in a conversation and be able to recruit them into your network marketing program. And here's the key to success in network marketing. It's pretty simple. It's being able to go out and build a big team of self-reliant, responsible producers that have both the willingness and the capacity to do what we do on a daily basis. You got to go out and find people that want it and can do it. You got to build a big team. You want a big check in network marketing? A big check comes from building a big team of good people. That's exactly what happens. Here's your twofold challenge. Number one is finding good people. Number two is knowing what to do with them. In other words, well, I found this person. What do I say to them, and how do I approach them, and how do I engage with this person? Why would they listen to me if I haven't made any money yet in network marketing? And that's what I'm gonna teach you all of that in today's webinar. So here's the good news. The method's very easy to learn. There's absolutely zero marketing costs associated with doing this. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars a month on advertising and lead generation and advertising and this and that pay-per-click this, and you don't have to do any of that. The method that I'm teaching you is literally free in terms of the lead generation aspect of doing it, and I'll literally put you as well in the position of never running out of people again to talk to, and it doesn't cost you a dime in order to do it. So that's a really cool thing in and of itself. It doesn't require months and months of trial and error trying to figure it out, and it can literally create results for you as early as today. I mean, if you were to leave this webinar, apply what you learned, you could go sponsor somebody if you wanted to. So that's another cool thing. And unlike most methods beyond your warm market that require countless hours of study time and easily up to a year or more of doing it before you ever actually create any results, this produces results for you right now. It's interesting. What happens is when people get past their warm market, and this is one of the biggest challenges in network marketing. And here's the challenge. People get through their warm market, and then what? Then they're faced with a myriad of different choices, none of which, they're looking at and able to immediately apply to go sponsor a person. People started getting into things like, well, let me figure out how to generate my own leads and start to do some kind of offline advertising, or maybe I'm going to do some pay-per-click advertising, and there's a learning curve associated with that. But now I got to be a better copywriter, and well, maybe I should blog about something and create a blog and generate my own leads that way, or maybe I should figure out a way to write articles and submit articles and hope that those people will click on my link to come and see me, or maybe I should look at my website, maybe optimize it better so that I can get more traffic, and I'll go sell other people's products and become an affiliate marketer to see if I can, attract people to me, and there's other ones as well. And each of those, and I'm not knocking any of them. They all have their place. They're all great. I'm a blogger. I love to copyright. I've done tremendous amounts of advertising, search engine optimization, all of those things. But here's the thing: you have a brand new person in network marketing that's been in a month, 2, 3, 4 months. They get through their warm market, and then you're gonna throw them into this. You want to keep them focused. This is something that now I got to study, I got to research, I got to learn, and that's exactly what happens. You end up you have a person that's in, and then they start to lose focus of what they're doing because they're so focused on trying to learn this other thing. You want your person. I don't know about you, but I want my people going out and sponsoring somebody, not figuring out what they're going to write on their next blog post, right? How long do you want to wait to earn a check? For me, I don't want to wait, and I certainly don't want my people to wait. And if you're like me and you can't wait an entire year to start building your check, then you've got to invest your valuable and precious time prospecting and presenting right now, to people who both want it and are capable of it. And here's the thing. If you're not prospecting and if you're not presenting every single day, then you're really not in business. And there's a lot of people in this business that will say, oh, I'm involved in this business, but the reality is, no, they're not. They're not involved in this business. You know, they're doing other stuff, and they're like kidding themselves into thinking that they're in this business. And here's a little litmus test. I do this all the time on stage with people. Okay, so you're in this business. You say you're in this business. You know, and like, here's the thing. I don't joke around when it comes to teaching people about making money in network marketing. I've been doing this way too long to play little games with people about money in this business. And yeah, and if you ever hear me speak or train someplace, I'll make you laugh your tail off through just the goofy person that I am, but I'm also dead serious about teaching strategies that people can apply in this business. And here's just a little test. How many new people have you talked to about your business in the last 24 hours? How many new people have you shown your business to? If you were to ask yourself at the end of every single day for the next 30 days, just do a challenge. At the end of every 30 days, boom, write down a number. How many new people have you talked to that day about your business? That's a reality check. That's a good tester to see if you're in your business or not. If you're not prospecting, it's because you don't know what to say, you don't have the confidence to approach people, or you don't know how or where to find them. There's not too many other reasons, right? I just don't know what to say, so I'm not going to say it. It doesn't feel good. I don't feel like I'm very competent, so I'm just not going to do it. Or I don't even know where in the world to find people. Procrastination happens for one primary reason. There's two reasons, but the primary reason is low self-confidence relative to the task at hand. If it doesn't feel good to you, you don't feel really like you can do it well, you're just going to avoid it, right? That's what we do. And today what you're going to do is you're going to learn who the best prospects are to target when it comes to recruiting talent, how to find them, and you're going to learn exactly what to say to these people to get their attention. So why recruit up rather than recruit simply anyone, right? It's interesting because when I started network marketing, they said, I said, who's a prospect? And I go, take a mirror out in the marketplace and shove it up underneath their nose, and if it fogs up, they're it. I'm like, okay, but really, is network marketing for anyone? No, it's not. Why would you want to recruit good people? Well, number one, it creates a culture of doers. Good people, producers produce. That's what they do. And if you're creating a culture in your organization of people that are used to doing. Number two, it dramatically reduces prospecting frustration and aggravation. It's aggravating and frustrating when you talk to bad people all day long. But when you talk to good people, if you've talked to one good person, you know exactly how fun it is. It's like, wow, wait a minute, this feels good. Wouldn't it be great if everybody sounded like this, right? It shortens the learning curves for new reps. Why? Because you're going after people that understand what we do already. They know what selling is. They know what it's like to run and build a business or build a team. We're going after people that already essentially do what we do, but they're just doing it someplace else. And it's certainly, number four, it accelerates organizational growth potential. Why? How? Well, pretty simple as well. When you're bringing good people in, you bring a bunch of experienced people into something that they have experience in versus a bunch of inexperienced people, what's going to happen? Pretty simple, right? It makes the business building process fun. And here's the thing that I found. If you don't like doing something, you're not going to do it. That's the number two reason why people procrastinate. Because if you perceive pain with something or you don't enjoy it, you're not going to go do it. But when you like something, you're going to do it. And this, honestly, it makes you like it more. Here's some specific strategies for recruiting talent. Number one, you want to avoid the most costly mistake that most people make. What most people think is the path of least resistance is actually the path of greatest resistance. A new person gets started in network marketing. They tend to go down the socioeconomic chain after people in their warm market. So check this out. So you get started, you write down your list of people, you start talking to people, and you go through them. And this is very, very typical. Very typical. You may have even done it. You got your list of whatever, your 100 people, and you go talk to the 75 people on your list. But then there's like 25 of them. And the 25 people on that list that you didn't get to, those are the super successful ones. Those are the ones you look up to and that you have a tremendous amount of respect for. And you avoid those people because, well, I don't know if what would they say if I'm doing a network marketing thing? Or I don't know. I don't want them to respond poorly or think differently of me because I look up to these people. And the crazy thing is, those are the best people. Those are the people you should talk to first. But see, we go down the socioeconomic chain after our broke friends and family because we think it's easier. Because our broke friends and family, well, they need an opportunity. It's like, you make less than me, I'll still talk to you. I'll show you this deal. It's like I feel like more confident because you know what I'm saying? That's what happens. But then when you do that, you're actually met with more resistance rather than less resistance. Your friends are like, oh, well, how much money are you making? How long have you been? Oh, if it's so good, well, why don't you pay my way in? Well, yeah, and it's just you're met with. You're not met with the kind of receptivity that you're met with when you go up the socioeconomic chain. Successful people are actually easier to recruit. Successful people become successful because they see opportunity and they seize opportunity. And then they don't stop. Oh, I've made some money, now I'm going to close my eyes. People that already make money are easier to recruit than broke people, period. You look on the chart in front of you as an example. When you go up the socioeconomic chain, that's the people that's above that line. Those people see the glass as half full, not half empty. They're not skeptical. These are people that look for opportunity, are open-minded to opportunity. They can capitalize the opportunity. They can capitalize it from the money side because they've got the money to get started. Whether your deal's $300, $500, $1,000, $1,500, they don't squabble over a $29 distributor kit. Oh, you better call me in 6 months, and I can't afford that. How much is it? Well, it's $50 to get started. No way. They have the money, and they also have the capital, the other kind of capital, the people capital. Because a successful person who's already been successful, has a track record of upward mobility in their lives, they surround themselves with other high-quality people. When you go down the socioeconomic chain, what you're met with is, I'm skeptical. How much is it? I don't have any money. Call me in 6 months. If it's so good, pay my way in. What are you doing? Are you crazy? You're met with all sorts of negativity. And we think it's easier, but it's really not. I'm telling you right now, when you go up the socioeconomic chain once, you'll never go down again, ever again. Recruiting talent strategy number 2. This is the secret to instantly reducing your fear or completely eliminating your fear. And I want you to pay attention here. This is harnessing the power of projection, okay? In fact, you can write this down. Perception is projection. Your prospect's reality of you is what you decide. Now, again, we're post-war market here, okay? We're outside our center of influence. These are individuals that I'm going to teach you to go put into your network marketing business that you don't yet know. So here's the thing. You pick up a phone. You engage somebody in conversation. They don't know where you live. They don't know how much money you make. They don't know if you're living in a 25,000 square foot home or a 600 square foot apartment. And they don't, right? I mean, these are people that you don't know. You're picking up the phone. So here's the thing. Understand this. This is a powerful concept, and this is the way it works. When you talk to somebody, when you engage somebody in conversation, when you say something, the way you say it, your gestures, the way you act, everything that you do is projected upon that person. And that person, essentially, it's like you're projecting this image onto a screen, and that image becomes that individual's reality of who you are. And I'm not talking about lying to people and being unethical and lacking integrity. All I'm saying is, look, if you were successful, more successful than you are now, would you act differently? Would you carry yourself differently? Would you talk to your prospects differently than you do currently? Many people, in fact, most people would say, yes, I would. I would act very differently. I wouldn't be so shy, so timid, so lacking in feeling like I'm not good enough, or why would they want to listen to me? You would definitely do it. And so my point is, why not then just do it? And you do have that choice. You have the ability to project an image of success. So, I mean, and it comes down to this. It comes down to act as if you're already successful. Check this out. So this is a one-bedroom apartment that I was working out of in Pacific Grove, California. Over my right shoulder, where my finger's pointing, that's a garage. And that's where I worked, in that garage. Over my left shoulder, that's the same single-pane, moldy window. It was the only light that went into that garage. And there was a little carpet on the ground. and it was nice to have a carpet on the ground. But that's where I sat there, and I got to my first $10,000 monthly check in network marketing out of that garage. But I can tell you this, there wasn't a single person that I ever talked to, not one, that knew I was calling from a garage. I didn't call my prospect up and say, hey, Bob, this is Todd. I'm calling you from my garage. I really could use you in my downline. Will you please join me? I didn't communicate that. I communicated success. I mean, that garage to me was my 10,000 square foot mansion. That was my oceanfront pad. I acted different. I didn't say, hey, I'm Todd, I'm making all this money, join my business. I just acted different. I just carried myself different because I knew I could, and I knew these people didn't know who I was. And so I could create whatever perception I wanted to based on what I projected in the market. That's powerful right there, you guys. You need to start doing that. Number 3, using the right words in the right way. You know what? Here's the thing. There's power in asking a question, and you're in power in asking a question the right way. It is both the words that you use and how you use those words. The question that you see in front of you, do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing in the real estate profession? Is a question that I developed. It actually took me 6 years to develop that question. You think, what? Come on, Todd. Like, seriously, it took me 6 years to get to that question. Because I asked it in different ways before. I'd call people up when I was testing out this method and trying to figure it out. I'd ask a question that wouldn't get a good result, and then another one would get a better result. And, that combination of words right there, right in front of you, that is the same question I asked today. And it's the question that yields me consistently the highest percentage of people that say yes to that question. And you're going to hear it several times as we go through this webinar. Recruiting talent strategy number 4, and this is the thing you want to be doing, is training yourself to look for opportunity. And I understand this phrase. I love this phrase. The eyes cannot see the things they're not yet trained to see. That's like it's kind of interesting. If you're driving through your neighborhood and you live in the neighborhood, and there's like for sale sign down the street here, and this place is for lease, and this one's for sale, and that open house up the street. If you already live there, you'll see those signs unless you're totally with your eyes closed. Hopefully you're not because you're driving. But it won't really register as anything important to you or a priority because it's just a real estate sign and you're not in the market for a house. But if you were driving into that neighborhood and you were looking to buy a house in that neighborhood, you bet you'd see that sign, and you bet you'd act as a result of it. Oh, well, for the open house, well, I got to stop, take left, turn around, let's go, right? See, here's the thing. Signs are everywhere, and I mean figuratively and literally. You got to start asking yourself, is that an opportunity? See, when I see something, I go, oh, is that an opportunity for me to talk to someone about my business? Is there an opportunity that exists there for me to introduce myself to someone? Is that an opportunity? And people like have this light switch on and off, and they drive around and live their life with their eyes open but seeing nothing. And that's a shame. And you as a network marketer who's looking to grow a team, and the world is your oyster essentially, can't afford to be driving around, walking around blindly, not seeing opportunities and capitalizing on those opportunities that are literally presenting themselves to you everywhere you go, every single day of your life. Recruiting talent strategy number 5, and this is about putting the odds in your favor. This is it. The secret here is prospecting people who are more likely to be successful in this business because of what they do already. That's it. That's the key to this method. I'm going after people that already do what we do. They're just doing it someplace else. Well, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, this person already does all the things that we do in network marketing. They're just doing it in a different place. So if I were to bring an individual like that into my business, they're already so accustomed to doing what we do that their ability to adapt and get moving and get it is way over somebody who doesn't do what we do, right? Make sense? And this is all about prospect profiling. And there's 3 commonalities that I go after in terms of the types of professionals that I like to target with what we have and what we do in network marketing. The number one thing is the primary thing that they do is they sell stuff. They lead, they oversee, they manage an organization. That's the number one commonality. And what do we do in network marketing? We sell stuff. We talk to people. We're overseeing an organization. We're leading a group. That's what we do every single day. So these are people that are already doing what we do. They're just doing it someplace else. Number 2 is they're paid on production. These are individuals that have chosen careers where they're getting paid for what they do. And I'm not saying that just by showing up. I mean, if they produce, they get paid more. In fact, many of these people are in 100% commission environments. They're in a salary plus a big bonus kind of structure, a draw against commissions, something where they take pride in making sure that there's a high level of productivity in whatever it is that they do, because the higher the productivity, the higher their check. How do we get paid in network marketing? We get paid the same way. If we produce, we get paid. If we don't produce, we don't get paid. So these are people that like it, like us. We like it. We like going, hey, I got control of my income here. I'm in full control of my destiny. I'm full control of what I'm able to go out and do with my life because of this compensation plan that this company's awarded me and given me the opportunity to participate in. And these are individuals that are doing the same thing. They're just doing it someplace else. Number 3, these folks have a moderate to a high tolerance for risk. In other words, they've chosen careers where if they do really good, then they're going to be paid very well. And if they don't do very well, then, there's a risk with it. Because if you're a realtor and you're not making sales, you're going to have a bartending job at night. If you're an account executive for some company and you're not making quota, well, you're not going to make quota if you miss quota too many months, you're not going to have a job. They'll find somebody else. So they have some risk. They're like, hey, there's the reward factor, and then there's the risk. It's the risk-reward thing. I think us, network marketers, I think we're risk takers a bit. We're stepping outside the box from what mom and dad told us to do and probably what we were taught growing up, and we're doing things a little bit differently. We're risk takers. So these are people that have, and this is hot right here. These are people that match up perfectly with what we do in network marketing. And some of the categories include real estate agents and brokers, mortgage brokers, insurance agents, small business owners, account executives, salespeople, inside sales, outside sales, sales managers, directors of sales, general managers, directors of marketing, people in authoritative types of positions. These are the categories that I love to go after, and I've been targeting for the last 15 plus years, very effectively bringing these individuals into my network marketing businesses. And here's the thing, this is funny, this is comedy right here. So let's say I just limited you right now. I said you can only recruit two types of people for the rest of your life in network marketing. You can either recruit the realtor or you can recruit the burger flipper. You can only recruit realtors or you can only recruit burger flippers. Now, funny thing is that two tacos for 99 cents thing with Jack in the Box, I mean, that was my first job. My first job at age 16 was frying tacos at Jack in the Box. And I think way back then, they were still 99 cents. Crazy. That's the only thing that hasn't increased in price the last 20 some odd years. But and I know this is kind of a ridiculous example, but I want you to understand the point. If I told you could only recruit one or the other, which would it be? And you're going, hey, realtors for sure. I mean, I'm a burger flipper, Jack in the Box guy that made it, so that happens, right? But you're likely going to say, oh yeah, okay, realtors. Well, why? Well, number one, they sell for a living. What's the burger flipper do? They flip burgers. The realtor calls on people. They talk to people. They meet with people. They prospect. The most social I ever was as a burger flipper is I had to tell I asked my manager, cheese on 12. He'd say, oh, cheese 6 on 12 there, son. Pull up them, polyester pants, fix that paper cap. Cheese 6 on 12. The realtor works independently. Nobody watches over them. They're self-motivated. They show up without being asked to show up. The burger flipper is given a schedule, punches in and punches out. The realtor makes money on commissions. They're a risk taker. The burger flipper, they make minimum wage. There is no risk. So you get to, if you look at that, okay, wait a second. So prospect profiling, going after people that are more likely to be successful in this business because of what they're currently doing and whatever it is that they're currently doing, right? So it's about, okay, I want to be strategic here in building my network marketing business. Understand the quality that you put in is the quality that you get out. The quality you put into your pipeline is the quality you get out. If all you're putting in is good people, the only thing you can get out is good people. If all you're putting in are terrible prospects, you can't get a good prospect out the other side. It's impossible. So I want you to think about that for a second. You're filling your pipeline, you're introducing, you're piquing people's interest, you're showing people your plan, you're showing people your business, you're showing people your webinar, your conference call, your whatever you're showing them. And if you're just showing low quality prospects that presentation, then the only thing that can come out the other side is a low quality prospect. If all you're doing on the other hand is putting good people in, the only thing that can come out the other side is an informed and educated person who's looked at your deal that's a good person. That is powerful. The quality you put in is the quality that you get out. Here's an awareness reality check I'm going to give for you guys. I've done this in groups of thousands and thousands of people. And I'm not going to unmute the webinar lines to do this, but you can just ask yourself this little question on your own. How many opportunities are you missing out on every single day that are quite literally underneath your nose? That's the question. I'm here to tell you right now that everyone on this webinar is losing out, missing out on stuff that's right under your sniffer, and you don't even realize it. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions to find out how often you're literally driving by, walking by, or passing by opportunity and not capitalizing on it. And again, we're not going to unmute the lines. It's way more powerful when I do that, but I'm not going to do that during this webinar. Number 1, do you own a cell phone? Everybody here has a cell phone. Everybody on planet Earth now has a cell phone. Number 2, do you think it's possible that in the last 7 days of you living your life, doing whatever it is that you do, take kids to and from school, going to the gym, the bank, the post office, the grocery store, go to see your friends, driving across town, going to work if you have a job, whatever. You think it's possible that in the last 7 days you've driven by any for sale sign for any piece of real estate anywhere? I'd say pretty much everybody, unless you haven't left your house in a week, can say yes to that. Last question is, did you call the realtor? Did you call the realtor? Did you pick up the phone and engage that person in question and ask them a pique interest question about your business? Most people, when asked these 3 questions, will say yep, yep, and then nope. And you know, so I mean, if I asked you that question, just think about that individually. You don't have to hear from everybody else in the webinar, but if you answered no to the last one, then that means that you're not looking at stuff and going, okay, is that an opportunity? And then, or maybe you are, but you don't know what to say. I'm going to share a story with you. I'm going to do it in story format, and I'm going to teach you a really big lesson right now on achieving success. And this is super powerful. So check this out. So I'm coming back from a national conference for a company that I was involved in. I'd been gone for about 5 days, and my refrigerator's empty. I knew I had mail. I had 5 days of mail stacked up in my post office. I had to go get it. And so I dropped my bag and I get in my car and I start driving to the store. And on the way to the store, like within like 2 or 3 blocks, I see this for sale sign for this new house that had come up in my market, like in my neighborhood. And I pulled over for a second, and I keep a legal yellow pad and pen in my car at all times, like wedged between my center console and my seat. And I just wrote down the realtor's name. Her name was Jan. Put on the gas. I didn't stop. I didn't go into the house. I didn't tour the house. I didn't grab a flyer. I just wrote her name down, and the ad, the location of the house, and I think it was Coldwell Banker. And I just picked up my phone, and the call went exactly like this, and it was her cell phone. She answered, "Good afternoon." I said, "Jan." I said, "Jan, Todd Falcone, how you doing?" She said, "Good. What can I do for you?" I said, "Well, Jan, I was just driving by your listing here in Beaver Lake Estates, and she said, well, great. Are you interested in looking at the home?" I said, "It's a beautiful home. I live literally right around the corner from the house and live in the neighborhood. I'm a homeowner in Beaver Lake Estates, and I'm also an entrepreneur, and I'm in the process of growing my company here. And I've seen your name. I know you're involved in the real estate community here on the Sammamish Plateau, and I just wanted to give you a call and ask you a very simple question, and that is, do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing as a real estate professional? And that's all I did is I asked a peak interest question, and she said, as a matter of fact, I do. And what are we looking for? We're looking for an open door, right? We're looking for a good person who's, hey, I'm open. I'm not exactly satisfied with where I am, and I could be getting more, doing more. And they say yes, right? You're looking for a good person who's willing to look at your business and then, ideally take action in it. And so she said yes. So I get, I'm cruising. I show up at, this shopping center where my bank's there, the post office there, the grocery store. It's real convenient. It's called, it's like those little convenience strip center areas. So I pull up and I'm kind of dragging because it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I walk in this coffee shop and I order a green tea. And while I'm waiting for my green tea, I look over on the wall and there's this posted card, cork board on the wall. And what's on the cork board? There's a bunch of stuff like what you see in front of you. I walk over there and I start, kind of gandering. And I'm like, oh, there's a real estate agent, and there's a personal fitness trainer. Oh, there's a mortgage broker, and I grab those 3 cards and I put them in my pocket. And there's some other stuff. There's like a babysitting service and, we haul your stuff service and a couple other things that were up there. And but those categories match my criteria of somebody I want to talk to. So I put the cards in my pocket, got my green tea, went next door, grabbed my mail, and then went over to the grocery store. And I get in the grocery store. I start stacking groceries in my grocery cart. And about 5 minutes into doing the groceries shopping, I look on my grocery cart, and this is what I see. And now this isn't the exact ad. It was this guy, and he had a big, bright, beaming smile on his face, and he was looking right at me. And his ad was actually on the back where my kid would be sitting. And he was like right there in front of me. That's where it wasn't on the front of the cart like that is. But, I look at it, and it was a State Farm ad, and I called the guy in the grocery store. And I just pulled my phone out of my pocket, and I just said, I called. I said, can I speak with Greg? And the lady transferred me over to Greg. This is Greg. I said, hey, Greg, Todd Falcone, how's it going? He said, good. What can I do for you? I said, hey, I'm looking at your smiling face between my tomatoes and my eggs. and he kind of giggled, and I laughed a little bit. And he's like, yeah, you must see my ad on the QFC shopping carts. I said, I am. I said, listen, if you're running this ad, you're clearly looking to grow your business, which is great. Let me tell you why I'm calling. I'm an entrepreneur. I love to work with people that are entrepreneurs, successful folks like yourself, super sharp people, and I'm growing my company here locally. And I just have a very simple question for you, and that is, do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing as a State Farm rep? And he said yes to me. And I looked at down at the ad again, and his address was pretty close to my house. And I actually said, listen, your office looks like it's right around the corner from where I live. I go, is it possible we can get together on Monday or Tuesday of next week? And I ended up setting an appointment with him for the following Tuesday morning. And I went down to his office and presented my business to him. And at the end of that presentation, he signed up. Now, it doesn't happen like that all the time. In fact, it almost never happens like that, where you do a one call, one meeting close. But this guy, he signed up on the spot. Now, did he become a mega producer in my business? No, he didn't. He produced a decent amount of volume, but he wasn't the superstar guy that ultimately, made tens of thousands of dollars. But I would have never sponsored this guy had I not, just initiated a conversation with him. And, the interesting thing is, here I am on an errand running session, and what happened? I'm on oh, by the way, I have 3 cards in my pocket on the drive home back to my house. By the way, this is downtime. This isn't prospecting time. This is Todd's running errand time. This is downtime. I called the personal fitness trainer, the mortgage broker, and the real estate professional on the way home, the cards that I pulled off the cork board. 2 out of those 3 said yes to me on an errand running session, when most people aren't even thinking about their business, when they're sniffers not seeing any of it. I got 4 out of 5 people that I called saying yes to me about looking at my business. How many missed opportunities are you missing out on your backyard? And here's the thing. If you're wondering, does this work? Is it effective? Look, here, this method comes right out of a course that I produced a few years ago called the Insider Secrets to Recruiting Professionals Home Study Course. It's been my #1 selling product for literally since the time I came out with it, for good reason. I mean, it's not like hard to figure out why it's my #1 seller. People are looking for a way to recruit good people, and most people are frustrated and unable to do it. And now they see a light at the end of the tunnel and go, wait a minute, this makes sense. I can see why this would work. In fact, the girl that you're looking at here in front of you, Kim Beckley, a friend of mine from Florida, became a friend of mine. Didn't know her when she first started using my strategies, but this is something that she wrote me. I mean, she made $21,000 in her first 3 weeks after using my method. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen to you. It probably won't happen to you. And she's in a higher dollar kind of top tier direct sales program, but still made $21,000 her first 3 weeks using the program and going directly. I mean, literally using it the way I teach it tonight and the way I teach it in my course. That's exciting to hear from. And by the way, when she did it, she was brand new to network marketing. She had never done network marketing before, ever. You might know this guy. I've done quite a few things with him, Ray Higdon. Great producer. In fact, he's the #1 check in his company. This is what he has to say about recruiting professionals. It's the smartest and most efficient way to build a serious business. And in that realm, there's only one person that specifically teaches the method of recruiting professionals, Todd Falcone. That's me doing the training. I mean, this it's interesting. I've been teaching on the circuit, if you will, as a network marketing coach and trainer for about 10 years. Most people know me as a recruiting coach, if you will, somebody that teaches prospecting and more specifically recruiting professional people. So this is just it's just a fun way of doing it. And then Susan Sly, she's just an awesome entrepreneur. I've known her for over 10 years, worked with her on a number of different projects, and she's been exposed to quite a bit of my stuff over the last couple of decades. But here's the thing. What do you do now? I mean, how do you take it to the next level for you? Here's 7 things that you can do. Here you are. You start to understand, like in we got 45 minutes or so on a webinar. Really, the purpose here is to give you some ideas, to get your brain moving, to get you thinking differently, to make you go, wait a minute, what am I missing out on? Oh my goodness, I am missing out on that stuff. How much of that stuff am I missing out on? And make you aware. See, because the thing is, until you're aware, you can't change. But you're going to be like tomorrow when you go out and drive around, you see some for sale sign or you see some sign, figuratively or literally. Now you have the choice, the option to react differently because now you know something that you didn't know before. So how do you take it to the next level? #1 is you start looking for talent everywhere that you go. You just start living your life where your eyes are open and you're actually seeing stuff and you're really thinking, okay, is that an opportunity? #2 is you start to project an image of success now. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to have made a whole bunch of money. This isn't about, hey, let me beef up my chest and act like I've got a bunch of money. Because the thing is, you wouldn't do that even if you had a bunch of money. You wouldn't do that. You just carry yourself a little more smoothly, a little bit more assuredly. You'd be like, yeah, I'm okay. Probably a little bit more relaxed, a little less stressed out. And you can do that now. You can just choose to act that way. And when you do that, what you'll find that's interesting is more and more people are attracted to you and more people will join your business based on how you act. #3, you can invest your time where it matters most. You can start focusing more of your time on recruiting good people and avoiding some of the other stuff that might not be as productive. #4, I'd be self-checking if I was you on a regular basis. That means checking in on you to make sure you're on track, that you're really living your life as if you're being fully accountable and in this business, because this is a business of being self-employed. The quality tracking, perhaps, a good thing to do is record your calls, record your presentations, listen back to that stuff. You get great feedback. You can learn from those experiences. Tracking your numbers, like the thing I said earlier, how many people have I talked to in the last 24 hours? Draw a box in a piece of paper at the end of every single day or in your journal or wherever it is, and just write in the number. How many new people did you talk to that day? What a reality check that is. If every single day, boom, you're drawing a box. You can't be looking at zeros all day long, every day, multiple days in a row, and not go, wait a minute, something has to change. Number 5, keep your eyes open. Really keep your eyes open. Number 6, start practicing this method. Practicing the script that I gave you until it becomes smooth and yours, where there's no awkwardness, where it comes out completely fluidly. And number 7, mastering this method. That's the thing that you want to do, is master the method. I'll give you something right now to help you master the method. Now, you could go out here and use this and certainly get some results with it, but you're going to be a whole lot better off when you clearly understand how this works and all the intricacies that I apply in recruiting these types of people. Now, here, what's your next step? Your next step in mastering the art of recruiting affluent professionals is this. It's to take the next step of really learning how to do it. Now, here's the thing. Like I mentioned earlier, a few years back, I produced a program called the Insider Secrets to Recruiting Professionals Home Study Course. That, again, has been the #1 selling product of all the training programs I have out. I've got like a dozen audio CD training programs that teach different aspects of business building and network marketing. I just got done reproducing this entire program, reproducing it from the ground up. It's a completely new product. Now, I'm not saying I've changed everything the way I do stuff, but there definitely are a lot of things that I learned from the production of that first product, that first training product, that maybe wasn't as clear or needed to be explained in more detail, or things that I've just discovered or learned along the way that I wasn't using or doing before. And so the new course, which is Insider Secrets to Recruiting Professionals 2.0, it includes over 25 instantly accessible audio training modules with full digital and downloadable access. What that means is this. You can listen to it on any device that you've got, whatever your computer is, iPad, iPod, your MacBook, your PC, this. You can also take it with you wherever you go, meaning you can download it. You can play it on any phone device that you have, any mobile device, any pocket device that you might have. So you literally have a traveling education that you can take with you wherever you go. It's completely mobile. So there's over 25 currently. And by the way, the one thing that's really cool about this new Insider Secrets is this. It's an ever-growing, evergreen product, meaning when new stuff comes up or a question comes up from someone like you that you felt maybe, could you clarify this more, Todd? Or, can you explain this more? Hey, what do you do when? I'll just go throw on the microphone, like I'm in my studio right now, throw on the microphone, create an additional module, and add it to the product for you. So it becomes a customized training product for you. And so now when I produced this, I didn't produce it and leave a whole bunch of stuff out so I'd get a bunch of questions. But if questions come up, I'm going to answer them. And I'm going to answer them in an audio format and just simply add it to the product. So right now there's over 25 of those modules. My suggestion is you go through it from the beginning to the end the first time. And then what you can do is, because of the way they're labeled, you can go, oh, wait a minute, how to get through a gatekeeper. Oh, I got to get that one. That seems real interesting. Oh, wait a minute, what type of information should I send a professional? Oh, do I lead with the product or the business? Oh, interesting. Well, how do I get more show-ups on my follow-up? So I better listen to that one. How do I get, how do I sign somebody up? How do I close people? Every module is very clearly labeled, and it covers a different aspect of what we do here. Oh, how do I find people locally? How do I find people internationally? It's all labeled so that you can just pick and choose which what you need at that point to learn or to become more clear on. And again, like I said, it's digital. You can take it anywhere you go. It also includes nearly 6 hours of me doing live calls to actual professionals. This actually comes from my original course. So it's 6 hours of live prospecting calls. Or something pretty powerful about listening to somebody in action rather than, it's great to have a theoretical discussion and do, role playing and all of that. That's all powerful. It's all part of the educational process for sure. But I don't think there's anything better than just listen to somebody who's good, do it, and then you can listen. You can, how'd the prospect respond, and what did he do after that when they did this, and wow, that's interesting. And you're able to pick up on. This is real life stuff, and there's nothing better than listening to or viewing or watching somebody in action with whatever it is that you're looking to learn. So there's 6 hours of live prospecting calls in there as well. There's a complete downloadable course workbook that goes along with it that includes scripts, all the different approaches that I use, email templates, letters, and other critical support material that that will help you master this method. Now, the regular price on the product, as you can see on your screen, is $397. That was the price for the original product. There was talk about increasing the price on the new product, and we're like, no, we're going to keep it at the same price. But also, you guys have spent nearly an hour with me on a webinar, so here's what we're going to do. For you that are on the webinar, because you took the time out of your busy day to show up and you're still here, this is a webinar exclusive for you guys that were willing to hang in here the entire time. You can get right now Insider Secrets to Recruiting Professionals, the new version 2.0, for $100 off. Most people end up paying $397. You'll get it for $297 and save yourself $100. And then I'm also throwing in I'm calling this the big money bonus. And it's the big money bonus because if you look below where it says Network Marketing Mastery Interview Series, these are big money people, meaning here's the deal. I sat down with 10 big producers in network marketing and direct selling, and I interviewed them individually, independently of each other, and asked them all the hard questions about how they did what they did, how they got started, what were their challenges, how did they get through it, what did they specifically do to be successful, and whatever else I could dig out of them to find out how they got what they got, how they created what they created. And there are so many nuggets of information to be learned from those interviews, I can't even begin to explain to you. And there's like 10 hours of interviews that course by itself sells for $397. So because you're on this webinar, you're getting $100 off Insider Secrets 2.0. You're getting the Network Marketing Mastery Interview Series, which you'd normally pay $397 for. You're going to get it for free. So you're getting everything for $297. So I don't know where my web guys do it because that's what they do, but I'm sure there's some button on this page somewhere, up, down, left, right. You can look around. I'm sure they're pretty smart guys. They'll figure out a way to put the button someplace, but I don't know exactly where it's at. I'm sure it's just on the website. My suggestion is this: go pick up the course, grab the bonus. And the cool thing is I don't know how fast you type, but you could be listening to this thing in about 5 minutes and applying it 10 minutes later if you wanted to. But and speaking of that, I'll end with this. People go buy stuff all the time and they never do anything with it. Make the commitment that you're going to actually soak in the information and you're going to apply it. That you're going to soak in the information that you're learning here and that you'll learn through these courses, and that you're going to actually apply it into your business. That's critical for you to do it. Why do you want to spend? You don't want to spend money on something and never do something. If you get the course, use it. And I'd love nothing more than to hear from you. Hey, Todd, I appreciate the way I was on this webinar. I got your course. I started using it, and I sponsored X number of people. I love hearing stuff like that. I love hearing from the Kim Beckleys of the world and the other folks that you saw a couple minutes ago. That's powerful. Go pick up the course. You'll find the button somewhere on the site. soak the information in, but most importantly, apply it into your network marketing business so you can create the kind of freedoms in your life that you want to have. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being on this webinar. This is Todd Falcone. We'll see you on another training somewhere soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.